Now I think all of you right here. Okay, right. Open your books, please. Open your books. On page 125. Okay. Let's start our lesson today. So today we will talk about the remainder, okay, and how I will solve a division problem, and how I will write the remainder in another way. We learn about the remainder, right? And we learn how to write the remainder, and all the time in the quotient I write the remainder as R and number. So today we will learn how to write the remainder as a fraction. Why? Okay, let's start. Now, when you solve a problem or a division problem, when you solve a division problem with a remainder, the way you interpret the remainder, what the meaning of interpret, that's mean you describe, or how I will learn about the remainder, okay, how you will describe the remainder. The way you will interpret the remainder depends on the situation, depends on the situation and the question, okay. So when you solve a division problem with a remainder, the way you interpret, that means you describe the remainder, depends on the situation in the problem, because today we will talk about the problems and the question. Sometimes you need to use both the quotient and the remainder. So sometimes in some division problems I will use the quotient, which is the answer for division in this problem, and the remainder you can do that by writing the remainder as a fraction, okay. So when I want to answer division problem, I have to use division as we learned. So I will divide number on a divisor. So if the quotient will consist of a quotient and remainder, so I have here to describe the answer, I have to use the quotient and the remainder, but I can't write it as it is as a number. You have to write it as a fraction, and now we will learn how to write it. If you have a question, please, or anything you want to ask me, from the chat box, please. Now let's start with the first problem. This is the first problem. I will read it for you in 125, page 125. Yes, Larissa, what's your question, dear? 125. We didn't start, Rinat. We didn't start. Now we will start. This is the page, okay. Now, Scott and his family. So today we will talk about problems. So I will use the division in problems. So now we will understand together how I will solve the problem and how I will write the answer for this problem, okay. So Scott and his family want to hike a trail. Hike a trail, that means they want to go to walk, okay. They want to go to walk. This is the page, okay. Someone asked me about the page 125, okay. So what's your question, Larissa? Please type it in the chat quickly. So Scott and his family want to hike a trail that is, this trail, the long for this trail, 1365, okay, miles. So trail means a long way. They want to walk in long way, okay, and the long for this way or the trail, 1365 miles, okay. They will hike equal parts of the trail, okay. So when I heard this number, equal parts, I will go to division in my mind. Okay, Larissa, now we will know. Okay, now you will find the answer for this question after we finish. Okay, just I want you to focus with me, girls, because we didn't start. Okay, now we will continue. They will hike equal parts of the trail on 12 different hiking trips. That's mean they will walk and stop, take a rest, and then they will walk and stop, take a rest. Okay, so then they will walk and take a rest. They will do that 12 times. But Scott and his family want to walk equal miles, such as I want to walk 10 miles. Okay, then I will stop 10 miles and I will stop 10 miles and I will stop, as an example. Okay, but I don't know here, I don't know right here how many miles in each walk. Okay, but I know that all those parts are equal. Okay, so I want to walk all this long and I want to divide this walk into 12 equal parts. Okay, how many miles will Scott's family hike on each trip? So I want to know the miles in each trip. So I can't walk, if you want to walk from Riyadh to Jeddah, okay, you can do it one time. No, I can't, right? I can't do it one time. So actually in the car I can't do it one time. So what about the walking? I can't. So I can't do it one time. I have to part it, or I have to divide the long into parts. But Scott and his family want to divide it into 12 equal parts. So what is the long for each part? What I have to do? I have to divide the miles, the whole miles, on 12. Okay? I have to divide the whole long on 12 equal parts to find the long for each part. Let's find it. Now we will start. Okay. So I will go to divide those numbers. So I will divide 1365 on what? On 12, as we learned. Very easy. So I will write this strategy. I write the reader and write the number and write the divisor. Let's start together. 1 divided to 12, I can't divide it, so I will take the 3. 13 divided to 12 equals what? Thank you, Larissa. Equals 1. So it will be 1 in the hundreds. Now I will multiply. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, Wajd. Now I will multiply with 1. It will be 12. Thank you, Emma. Now I will subtract. 3 minus 2 equals 1. And this will be 0. Okay? Now I will regroup the number. I will take the 6 and it will be 16. 16 divided to 12, also 1. Thank you, girls. 1 multiply 12 equals 12. We repeat these steps a lot of times, I think. Now 6 minus 2 equals 4. And this will be 0. Now I will regroup the number. I will take the 5 and put it next to the 4. So it will be 45. 45 divided divided 12. 45 divided 12. How many 12s in 45? I think, yes, Larissa, your answer is correct. I think it will be 3. What is the number that I will multiply it with 12? It will give me the closest answer to 45. It will be 3. Now, 3 multiplied 12 equals what? 3 multiplied 2 equals 6, and I will write it here. And 3 multiplied 1 equals 3. Now I will subtract. Okay? 5 minus 6, I have to borrow from the 4, it will be 3. Okay? And this one will be 15. 15 minus 6 equals what? Equals 9. Thank you. Equals 9. And 3 minus 3 equals 0. Okay? So I have here a remainder. I can divide it 9 on 12. Okay? So I have a remainder right here. Okay? But here, let's understand the answer for this question or for this problem. First thing I want to understand, in this problem each number describe what? So the number that describe or represent here the number of trips Scott and his family plan to take. What is the number of trips? They plan to do what? 12 trips, right? So 12 is what in this division? 12 is a dividend, is a divisor, is a remainder, is a quotient, is a what? Is what? 12 is a in the division, 12 is a divisor, right? So the divisor is the number of trip that Scott and the family plan to take. So this number is represent the divisor, or the divisor represent this number. Okay? So this is the first answer, or the first missing word here. Now, what is the number that represent the whole number part of the number of miles Scott and his family will hike on each trip? Yes, Reem, your answer is correct. But what we call this 113R9? The whole numbers, the whole number part of the number of miles Scott and his family will hike. That's mean, yes, Larissa, that's quotient. So the quotient represent what? The parts, the long of the parts that they will hike it in this trip. Okay? So the quotient right here, this is a quotient. Now, what about this missing word? What is the number that represent the number of miles left over? Left over. I left how many miles I left? Yes, Aryam and Larissa, thank you. I left 9 miles in this trip. I left 9 miles, and this is what? This is R, or a remainder. So the remainder represents the number of miles left over. So to write in the division problem, to write the remainder, the number of miles that will left over in this trip, I have, look, you have to write this sentence. The remainder represent 9 miles, which can also be divided into 12 parts and written as a fraction. So in the division problem, to write the answer, I have to write the remainder as a fraction. The numerator for this fraction will be the remainder, and the denominator for this fraction will be the divisor. So here, when I told you I can divide 9 on 12 and write it as a remainder, that's mean if you divide 9 on 12, you can write it as a fraction, because the fraction bar means division. And you remember when I told you 1 over 2 means what in fraction? 1 divided 2. So last year I told you fraction bar means division. So here when I told you 9 divided 12 means what? 9 over 12 as a fraction. So when I have a division problem, I have to write the answer for this division as I have to write the answer if I have a remainder as a fraction. I can't write it as a number r. Okay, so I will tell you that the number or the miles of each what, the miles of each trip will be 113 miles and 9 over 12. So the long will be consists of what? Consists of a whole number and a fraction number. Because the fraction number I can't divide it, so I will write it as it is. Okay? So 9 over 12. Before I will write the answer, you remember in fraction I told you about simplest form. So I have to write the number in simplest form. And you know what is the simplest form for 9 over 12? Okay, I told you if the number in numerator and denominator I can divide it on the same number, that's mean I have to find the simplest form. Can I divide 9 and 12 on simplest form? Okay, we will come to fraction. Don't worry. I think next chapter, inshallah. So now I can divide 9 on what? On 3, right? And I can divide the 12 also on 3. So I will here find the simplest form for this 9 over 3. 9 divided 3 equals what? Equals 3. 12 divided 3 equals what? Equals 4. So I will write the answer in simplest form. So it will be what? It will be 113, 3 over 4. This is the miles in each what? This is the miles in each trip, because I have a whole number and a little number I can divide it on the divisor, so I will write it as a fraction. This is a little bit. So in each trip I will draw here. This is the long, and the trip, the little trip will be what? Will be 113, and there is a little bit here. This is 113 miles. This is a little bit number. It will be what? 3 over 4. This is 3 over 4. I can write it as a whole number, so I will leave it as a fraction. If you finished this page, type 1 in the chat box, please, to move to another problem. Any question, girls? Thank you. We will solve today only two problems. Only 2. Okay? Just 2 problems. Okay, thank you, girls. Thank you. Just one time. Type just one time. Okay? Now we will move to this problem. Okay, on page 126. Okay, I will erase this. Now in 126, let's read the problem and then find the answer and find the answer for the problem. So first thing, I have to understand the problem. Okay? Now, a sporting goods store is going to ship. What the meaning of ship? Sporting goods, that's mean like sporting goods store for sporting sport items like Adidas, like something like this. Okay, so a sporting goods store is going to ship, means it will bring sleeping bags, 1,252 sleeping bags. Each shipping carton can hold 8 sleeping bags. So look, you know sleeping bags, when you go camping, if someone of you go camping, so you can use sleeping bag to sleep in the in it. Okay, you can sleeping in it, so it will help you. So 1,252 sleeping bags, and the sleeping bags will put in boxes or carton and ship. Okay, so each carton will hold only 8. So in each carton I can put 8, and if I have another carton I will put 8. But how many sleeping bags I will bring? 1,252. Okay, so how many cartons are need to ship all? What I have to do, I have to divide those all sleeping bags on 8 in each carton to know the numbers of cartons. Okay, so the number is 1,252. I will divide it on 8. Let's start the division. Okay, now I will start with 1. 1 divided 8 equals what? 1 divided 8 equals, I can't divide it 1 on 8. So what I have to do, I have to take 2. It will be 12. Now 12 divided 8, how many 8s in 12? Just 1. So it will be 1 in the here hundredths digit. Now I will multiply the 1 in the quotient in the hundredths digit with the divisor. So 1 multiply 8 equals 8. So I will write 8 right here, and then I will subtract between 12 and 8. If you subtract 2 minus 8, you can take 8 from the 2, so you have to borrow from the 1. This one will be a 0, and I will take this one and put it next to the 2, so it will be 12. Now 12 minus 8, put 8 in my mind and count to 12. The answer will be 4. Thank you, girls. Thank you. Now I will regroup the number. So I will take the 5 and put it next to the 4, so it will be 45. Now 45 divided 8. What is the number that I will multiply it with 8? It will give me the closest answer for 45. Yes, girls, thank you all. Thank you. The number will be 5, because 5 multiply 8 equals 40. So I will put 5 in the tens digit. Now 5 multiply 8 equals 40, so I will write 40 here. Then I will subtract. Now subtract between the numbers. 5 minus 0 equals 5. Thank you. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Now I will regroup the number. I will take this 2 and put it next to the 5, so it will be 52. Now 52 divided 8. What is the number that I will multiply it with 8? It will give me the closest answer to 52. What is the number? Thank you all. Thank you, girls. Just type one time, okay? Type one time. So it will be 6. 6 multiply 8 equals 48. So it will be 6 in the ones digit. Okay? Now 6 multiply 8 equals what? Okay. Equals 48. That's right. Now subtract. 2 minus 8 equals what? I can't, so I will borrow from the 5. So this one will be 4 and this one will be 12. Now 12 minus 8 equals what? Equals 4, and there is a 0. Now can I divide it 4 on 8? No, I can't. So it will be what? It will be a remainder. Okay? A remainder. This remainder means what? This remainder means what? Look, I have a a sleeping bag. Okay, I have a sleeping bag. So that's mean when I want to divide the sleeping bags in each box or in each cartoon. So I have how many cartoons? I have 156 cartoon. So I have 156 cartoon. So what's wrong? Okay, Larissa, if you have a question, please type it in the chat box. So I have 156 cartoon, but there is a 4 sleeping bags left. I can't put it. I forget the 2. No, there is the 2. Which 2, dear? I take the 2 and put it next to the 5, so it will be 52. Okay? Okay. So I have 4 sleeping bags. I have 4 sleeping bags, and it's left. So I know the cartoon hold only 4, so I put hold only 8. So I put 8, 8, 8, 8. So I have 156 cartoon. There is 4 sleeping bags. So to answer this, since there are how many sleeping bags left over? Thank you, Lana. I have 4 sleeping bags left over. And how many cartoons I have to put? I will leave this 4 and didn't bring it, didn't shape it. No, I will shape it, but I will put it in a cartoon. I will put only 4 in the last cartoon. So I will take 156 cartoon, and I will take this 4 and put it in another cartoon. So it will be what? It will be 157. Okay, girls? So I can't leave this sleeping bags. I can't. So I have to shape it also with all sleeping bags. But I know the cartoon holds only 8, but there is only 4. Okay, so I will put it in another cartoon. Okay, and the number of cartoon will need it 157. You have a question, girls? If you have a question, please type it in the chat box. Girls, if you have a question, please type it in the chat box. Quickly. Okay. No? You finished this page? You finish? Lama, type your question, please. Quickly. How what, Lana? Please type your questions. But quickly, because we will move to another example. Okay. Now page 127. How 150 okay. Lana, look, I will return. I have only 156, but there is a 4 sleeping bags. There is a 4 sleeping bags. I will leave this 4. I have to put it in a cartoon, right? But the number of cartoon that I will need it to put all those is 156, but the 4 here left is the number of the sleeping bags. I can't leave it, so I have to put it in alone. Okay, just I will put 4 in a cartoon. Okay, so I will put it in a cartoon, so it will be what, 156, and this cartoon for 4 sleeping bags, so I will add it to the 156, so it will be 157. Okay, this is the answer for this problem, not the answer for the division, the answer for the problem. Let's move to the next page. Yes, you have a homework, of course, guys, you have a homework. Now I will solve number 1 in page 127. Quickly, please. I will solve number 1. Let's read the problem. Erica and Bradley want to hike also the big Cypress Trail. They will hike a total of 75 miles. Okay, so this is the number of whole miles that they will hike. If Erica and Bradley plan to hike for 12 days, so how many miles will they hike in each day? So I want to hike, maybe I am Erica, and I want to hike 75 miles, a long way. Okay, I will do that in 12 days. So every day I will hike an equal part. So how many miles I will hike in each day? The same idea. I will divide the number of all miles on 12. Let's start the division. 7 divided 12. Can I divide 7 on 12? No, I can't. So I will take the 5. 75 divided 12. Yes, your answer is correct. It will be 6. Thank you. So I have 6 12s in 75. Let's find the multiplication. 6 multiplied 2 equals 12. So I will put 2 here. And 1 above the tens. 6 multiply 1 equals 6, and plus 1 equals 7. Okay, now I will subtract 5 minus 2 equals what? 5 minus 2 equals 3, right? And 7 minus 7 equals 0. Can I divide 3 on 12? No, so it will be a remainder. So they need 6 days to or they will hike 6 miles in each day, but there is 3 miles. I can't divide it on 12, so I will write it as a fraction. Okay, so I will write it as a fraction. So there is a 3 miles. I have to divide it on 12 days. So I have to write the remainder here as a fraction. The numerator will be the remainder, and the denominator will be what? The divisor. So it will be what? 3 over 12. 3, I write it here, 3 over 12. Can I divide, or can I here write this fraction as a standard simplest form? Can I write it in a simplest form? Okay, now my voice is good, girls. Okay, girls, you can hear me. If you can hear me, please type 1 in the chat box. Okay, thank you all. Some one of you has a problem, maybe in his mic or in his headphone. Now I have to write it in the simplest form, so it will be 3 divided 12. I have to divide it on the same number. So what is the number? I can use 3, right? So it will be 3 and 3. So the fraction will be what? 3 divided 3 equals 1. 12 divided 3 equals 4. So I have 1 over 4. I have to put it in each day. This is a little bit. I have to put it in each day. Okay, so the number of miles in each day will be 6 and 1 over 4 miles. This is the number of miles, okay? And this is the answer for this problem. Any question, girls? Because we will solve only those 3 questions, those 3 problems, okay? We will solve only those 3 problems. And don't forget to do the homework, please. There is a homework in weekly plan, I think the page 129. If you have a question, please type it. If you don't have, we finish our session. Okay?